doing Torrey's Peak once again. We've been before, but it was one of the first 14ers I had hiked, and we couldn't make it to the trailhead, and it was Sully's first 14er. So because of the extra distance from not being able to come to the trailhead, and because I wasn't in that great of shape at that time, we only did grays and didn't do Torreys. I kind of wish we had. It's highly recommended that you do both, but I was just really playing it safe that day. So here we are back to get Torreys. Let's hit it. Here we are getting started. Getting started late this morning. We've been getting up at 3 a.m. to do these hikes, or a little after. But I tossed and turned a little bit last night, so I cut off that alarm and we got up around 6. So we are here late today. We are just getting started. It's about 9 a.m. and if you can see out in the distance, we are going to have some snow in the mountains today. Wouldn't swear to it, but I think that's Graves, and then Torrey's is over there, if I remember correctly. As you can see, just more rocks, rocks, rocks. But as you see that little critter, you won't get him. Oh, come on. Let's go. Go. Now we just started mile 4, and it's really getting steep. Alright, here we are at the saddle between the two peaks. There's Grays over there. We just got a little bit to go on Torrey. The wind has finally slowed down a little bit. Whew. It's in the 50s today, so when that wind picks up, it is brutal. I have a face covering that I should have brought. I just didn't think it was going to be like that. The weather didn't call for windy, but it's on and off windy. Coming back down off Torrey's Peak. There's Grays Peak over there. And as I said, hey buddy, come on. We're just doing Torrey's today because we did Grays before. So if you kind of want an idea what it looks like, Going from Grays to Torreys over here. There you go. On the saddle between the two peaks. That's Gray's Peak. That's Torrey's Peak. They're actually sneaky hard. They're both really steep on the way up. The final approach. I guess that's just the nature of the second mile being really flat. So most of your elevation gain is definitely going to be on the second half of the hike. As you can see, there's a good bit of elevation gain between these 14ers. There has to be for them to be official 14ers. If you can just kind of walk across a saddle without gaining much elevation between peaks, that's not a 14er. I want to say it's got to be 200 feet of elevation gain between the peaks, but I could be wrong. Finally down from the steep stuff. That's not the funnest part to go down either. And now we are back to the easy part. A couple miles or so to the trailhead. This next mile is going to be super easy and flat. And then the last mile, a little bit of a decline, but again, we're going down. So not too bad. We're back to these wooden steps, so that means we are almost to the bottom. Finally. The leaves are actually much prettier over here. Nice and yellow. Most of the trail, the leaves are brown. And here's Sully shaking his booty in celebration of his 614er and my 11th. Nice little stream right here. Very pretty. Back to the trailhead, Grays and Torreys. Once again, I didn't hike Grays because I hiked it before. So we just hiked Torreys today. And I traced it on my All Trails map. But as a lot of you know, that doesn't calibrate the exact elevation and mileage until you get to cell service. So I will let you know once we reach cell service how far we went and what the elevation was. But these are pretty easy trails. Like most 14ers, there's a stretch where it's really hard. So for these, last mile and a half or so is tough for both, I would say. I can't say about doing both peaks in the same day, although that's recommended. Again, the first time I came, I wasn't in as good a shape, and it was my dog's first time, so I was a little worried for him. But I would say that they're both are definitely doable together. And that's it. Oh boy.